Hey, welcome back. 7:44 on this Wallet Wednesday. Well, between closings, emergency health visits, and uncertain stock market, a lot of people are feeling pretty overwhelmed financially right now. So we want to dig into some of that this morning. Brad Hilliard is with Oregon's Division of Financial Regulation, and he joins us via Skype to talk about some of the resources out there to help Oregonians. Good morning, Brad.
Hi, good morning, Emily.
So we appreciate you being here to talk with us about this. This is something that I've been reading about this week that, oh gosh, it is so frustrating. These new types of scams that are popping up now, people trying to actually take advantage of others in this coronavirus pandemic. What kinds of things are you guys monitoring right now?
Yeah, we're keeping an eye on the scams that are out there, and just trying to encourage people to think before they react to some things. There's a lot of opportunities to prey on fear and confusion around this outbreak, and so it's just encouraging people to be wise before they start opening emails, clicking on links that or sharing personal and financial information where they shouldn't.
Yeah, that's all good advice that can't go out the window in an emergency. So I know we've got a lot of people right now who might be without a paycheck now, that sudden loss of income, and they have to worry about the possibility here of getting sick and facing some medical bills that they were not expecting or maybe can't pay for. So what are some of the things out there right now? I know you guys have been working really hard to try and make sure that insurance companies are going to work with people, that telehealth options is available. What do you want people to know today?
Right. Yeah, we are encouraging everyone to use telehealth services as they're available. If it's medically and clinically appropriate, try to visit your doctor by phone, by video, by email, versus actually going and seeing them in person. The Department of Consumer and Business Services and the Oregon Health Authority have put a guidance out for all health plan providers as well as all healthcare providers to make these options available to their patients as much as possible, and to make sure that they can use these sources when needed versus actually going and seeing a doctor in person.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that's kind of cool about the Division of Financial Regulation, if people are not familiar with the DFR, people can actually come to you if they feel like they're having a problem with their insurance company or with getting something sorted out, and you can kind of help them work through some of those issues.
Right. Yes. If you have any problems with insurance of any type, or if you have a problem with a company or an agent, give us a call at 888-877-4894, or you can visit our website dfr.oregon.gov to get some more information, file a complaint online. We also have lots of information related to COVID-19 and insurance and financial services. That is updated daily. So check there for questions, about some of these coronavirus scams and things that are asking you to download stuff, or telehealth questions, that kind of thing. It's all there on the site to make sure you're informed and available for, and have that information readily available.
Absolutely. Yeah, we pulled up the website so people can look at it right now. And I know we're going to post a direct link and that phone number on coin.com too, in case you missed it. But real quickly, Brad, here, if people are looking at this loss of income, if they know that they are going to have a problem paying this month's credit card bills, paying this month's mortgage, what do you suggest people do to try and kind of get ahead of this problem?
Yeah. First and foremost, talk to your lender, talk to your insurance company, and see what arrangements can be made. A lot of them are already taking steps to provide grace periods on payments that are due. We are also working to really just protect consumers. We've issued an order for all insurance companies to issue a grace period on their insurance premiums that are due, to not cancel or non-renew anyone during this time, and to just put a grace period in if you need to file a claim, to give people more time to just deal with their everyday life, take care of their families first and foremost, before they have to worry about some of these other things. I mean, we're in a complete disruption right now, just across the board, and so the more time that we can give people to adjust and try to not have to worry about so many things, then the better off we are, and the better we can all recover and move past all this.
Absolutely. Well, Brad, we appreciate your time. I know you guys over at DFR have been working around the clock to try and get all of these resources available for people. Lots of good stuff there for Oregonians to check out. So we will have all that at coin.com. Thank you, Brad.